run us through the chronology of your bench and your injuries and what happened?
Yeah. We lost Crofty, obviously, the first 15 minutes to HIA, and then we lost Campbell Graham, calf, Dean Hawkins, calf, and Lewis Beaneck as well in the first half. So that put us under a fair bit of pressure. Then we lost Alex Max, who's had to go to hospital with a chest injury. So, more concerned with Alex at the moment, making sure he's all right.
Had you used up all the number of interchanges you could have?
No.
So Regan was on the touchline looking like he was about to come back on.
Yeah, but
and then
he's got a calf injury, so we put him on for what? Tear his calf more and be out for 10 weeks, you know, like he was already declared unavailable. That was just Regan trying to do what he needed to do for the boys, and he would have done that. But yeah, can't be more proud of that out there today. That was set up in the coach's box area with Danny Ward and just said it's just unbelievable what they're turning up with, how they keep just finding a way to turn up, and with bodies missing everywhere, fatigue everywhere, but somehow kept making it a contest, and yeah, I was pretty proud of it.
Very unusual to have 20 minutes with 12, isn't it, when you haven't had a sending off? You might have 5 minutes at the end of the game. But
yeah.
What was your messages on to the team when you realised you were going to have 20 minutes with 12? What did you say?
Do your best, yeah. No, it was more about just what we needed to do when we had the ball. We in defence just find a way, and we train for that with players down. We train often with less numbers on the field and find a way to connect and turn up and keep turning up for your mate. But, you know, we don't do it for 25, 30 minutes. And then, you know, there's plenty of guys out there that would have normally come off, like Sid would start in the middle. Sadiq can come off and, you know, he had to go into the back row after 15 minutes and punch out 80 because we lost a back row to HIA. But, yeah, to lose your captain, your halfback, and then have no interchanges, well, actually have interchange, but no players left to go on the field in the first half, and then to be down to 12 men is just, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. But, yeah, like I said, we come off the field with our DNA clear for everybody to see and who we are and what we're about. And, you know, you'll learn a lot through your tough times, and we certainly did that today.
Is it frustrating because at half-time you were looking pretty good, and then if you had at least 13 men on the field, what could have been?
Yeah, it was, because I sort of felt we rode some of the fast parts of the game, and then we started putting some fatigue back into Bradford, and the try we scored to go 8-4, you could see that. Both teams were starting to feel the pinch a little bit. It was a very fast game. I thought the ref did a great job in and around the ruck, and I'm enjoying the speed of the game at the moment. So, yeah, that was good. But, yeah, sort of knew at half-time, wow, we're in a bit of trouble here. And then to lose Alex as well, just, you know, and Alex is a guy who can score points as well, as we know. So, yeah, it was tough, but that's footy. It happens, you know. And I was more impressed with how we handled it. You know, we didn't look for excuses. We didn't find reasons to give up. And, you know, at 16-8, we had opportunities and we're right on the door of scoring. So we'll take a lot from that.
And that try in the corner, the one that Liam finished off, I mean, the team try, that was great footy, just working the ball, the offloads.
Yeah, it was great footy, yeah. You know, and like I said, we knew the first 20 was going to be hard, and the way Bradford moved the ball, they moved the ball pretty well, and we rode some of that momentum really well, and then we started getting some of our own and started getting some ad-lib footy, some second phase, and brought Maria into the game. And, yeah, the try was excellent. But, again, like we bring Lewis Beaneck on and to bring some momentum to the game, and he's gone after 10 minutes. So, the interchange hurt, but like I said, credit to Bradford though. You know, they did what they needed to do, and it's their first hit out as well. So, congratulations to them.
What do you did you tell them at half time that this is in danger of happening, or did it not even occur to you that it might happen, that they might be down to 12? They didn't know they'd be down to 12. We knew we had 13 at half time. We got the nod that Dino was no good to go back on. So that meant Jimmy came off the bench, and that meant there was no one else left on the bench. You end up sometimes with one player on the bench, and you'll have three interchange, and you can roll off and on and still get some momentum in the game and get some rest into your players. But to have none for pretty much from the 30th minute, I think Regan Campbell-Gillard came off around the 30th minute. And then that was it from then on. The boys that were out there had to punch out the next 50. And what sort of messages did you send on, and what did you say to them or in the sheds just then?
I grabbed them out on the field and then I reaffirmed that in the sheds then and just said that, they were disappointed, very disappointed in the fact that we bowed out of the cup. They wanted to have a good cup, have a run in the cup, and probably at stages felt like we were a chance of winning the game. But I just said to them, where we come from as a club and where we're going, that was evident today. We're sitting here punching above our weight against the Super League side, and I know Bradford are newly promoted, but they've, got more cup to spend than we have. And we showed that we're a team that's on the up. I think every person that was here today to support London walks away pretty proud of what their team produced, and we just got to look at how we keep 17 players on the field, or 14 or 15 would be nice. But like I said, I just reaffirmed to them that I'm, as a coach, pretty proud of what they turned up with today, and we need to bottle that. That needs to be part of who we are.
You were playing against a better side than you've played so far.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you learnt about certain individuals playing against players who they may not have played against, and a level of side that they've not been up against before.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a lot of young players as well that, we've got a couple of guys that all signed for Perth Bears that are still young in their infancy, and today was a good chance for them to get a feel for what Super League's like as well, the pace of the game. And at times we struggled with that at the start, and we, too many offloads, the pace of the game was too quick, and we found our way to get some control back in that and then put some fatigue back into Bradford, and then we started coming over the top of them. But unfortunately, we just didn't have the troops on the bench to keep doing that. But there's some guys that I've coached with P&G for a couple of years that I haven't seen put in performances like that in terms of work ethic and turning up for your teammate. And Finley Glare played 80 minutes at 9, and Jimmy Meadows,
He was very dangerous when he
always, yeah. Even late in the game when he's under fatigue, he was still a threat. So, and he scores a try and he has a hand in the one that we scored. So there's some really positive signs there. And I think Amali Pitangani played 60 minutes as well in the middle third of the field. And so, yeah, I could rattle off pretty much every individual. And we sent the message out there for our outside backs just to get in and carry as much as we can, so we had some energy to defend. But at the same time, we needed to score points, so we needed to move the ball. And I felt like we created some chances, but we just probably didn't nail them. I think under the post, and Appel drops it when he hits that hole under the post, which was, and then we nearly score again. The game stopped for a trainer on the field, which is ridiculous. I don't know what a trainer's doing on the field in the middle of a set, but it was a pretty important part of the game. And, I think that was the only disappointing thing I came from the game for me, was that was an opportunity for us under a lot of pressure to probably chance to score some points, and we had to stop the game for 2 minutes for a leg injury under the post. But anyway, it is what it is.
What is the outlook for the injured blokes?
I don't really know. I don't think they're bad. I don't think Regan's bad. He tested okay at first, and then it just, once it cooled down, it was a bit worse. So it wasn't. We got a long year ahead of us. We don't finish till October, so still in early Feb, and we're going to make sure that we're looking after our players as well. And we've got Dean Hawkins. They'll all get assessed early in the week. I don't think they're long term, but luckily we don't have a game next week, and that allows Crofty to go through his HIA and be available for the Swinton game. But there's plenty of guys knocking on the door. Sammy Davis, Saliva Havili, also didn't play today. Rob Matthias, who'll be out a bit longer, but we've got guys to come back in Marcus Stock and Ben Hersey and guys like that, and Jeremiah Simpkins not far off. So we've got some good depth there.
Sorry, who stopped Reg from going back on?
I did, yeah.
You sent a message down.
Yeah. Well, I asked, can he go back on? They said no, and he wants to go back on, and I said, well, he's not going on. He's too important to us to. He goes on there and completely ruptures his calf or his Achilles off the back of it. We're in a much worse position. But that's Reg. He would have gone on if we let him. Put it that way.
Can you tell us about what you're going to do with Brisbane when they come over next week?
Don't know if we'll have a team to train against Brisbane. Some of their Reggies might have to jump in with us, but not too sure yet. It's pretty much going to be dictated to by Madge and his team and what they need, and we're just looking forward to getting down there and mixing with some of those guys. And again, it's about awareness for our club, and some bit of content as well for our club, and keep moving forward. People understanding what's going on in London, and Brisbane definitely bring eyeballs. So we'll sit down with Madge and go through what he wants us to do. But main thing will be helping them prep for the World Club Challenge.
Good to hear a crowd here that could put pressure on a referee, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. And I thought, like I said, I thought the refs, you know, I think the game's clearly quicker, and you can see that. So yeah, it's just great to see a decent crowd here again. You know, it's 3 weeks in a row. You know, we're in the thousands, and you know, like I said, anyone who come to support London today is obviously walking away looking forward to coming back again. That's for sure.
Thank you, Al.
Cheers, guys.